Ever wonder what it takes for something truly special to, well, not just survive, but to really triumph against the odds, reclaim its place? That kind of resilience. It often creates something with just remarkable character. Today, we're doing a deep dive into exactly that kind of story. Kilkerran Glengyle whiskey. And this isn't just about, a great whiskey, though it is that. It's this really fascinating tale of a distillery's incredible comeback. And its vital, almost heroic role in preserving the legacy of a legendary Scottish whiskey region.
Absolutely. And to sort of help us explore this, we've looked at some really good sources. We're drawing from detailed product descriptions, obviously, but also a great blog post from Whisky.dk. You might know them, Denmark's biggest whiskey store, online and physical. Founded back in 2012 by Ulrik Bertelsen and Henrik Olsen. They've grown massively, won awards like the Danish Gazelle Prize multiple times. So they really know their stuff. It gives us that nice mix of like specific bottle details and the bigger picture, the history.
That's perfect. So our mission today really is to unpack the whole journey of Glengyle Distillery, explore what makes its Kilkerran whiskey such a unique expression of that Campbeltown style, and then, discover some of its most interesting releases, the annual ones, the limited editions. Should be good. Okay, let's unpack this then. Imagine a whiskey region, right? Once this global powerhouse, famous for its distilleries, suddenly facing this deep decline, almost fading away.
Yeah, like on the brink.
Exactly. That was the reality for Campbeltown. And as we'll see, Glengyle Distillery is just absolutely central to its incredible comeback, a real phoenix from the ashes story.
Totally. And what's really fascinating about how Glengyle even started is the family connection. It was founded way back in 1872 by William Mitchell. Now, that Mitchell name is already big in whiskey. His family owned the famous Springbank distillery.
Ah, okay.
But apparently there's some kind of disagreement with his brother, and William, being independent-minded, decided to set up his own distillery, Glengyle. Shows that spirit right from the start, doesn't it?
Yeah, a bit of sibling rivalry gave us another distillery. But as you said, that spirit, it couldn't shield Glengyle forever from the bigger picture. The distillery eventually closed down in 1925. And this wasn't just Glengyle, right? It was part of these wider economic problems, massive shifts in the whiskey industry. It hit Campbeltown really hard. Lots of distilleries went under then. A pretty bleak time.
Really bleak. And for decades, the buildings just sat there, empty, used for storage, other things, gathering dust, basically. But then the turning point, the year 2000, that's when Mitchell's Glengyle Ltd. Stepped in. And this was driven by Hedley G. Right now, he was a direct descendant of the founder, William Mitchell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and chairman of J&A Mitchell, the Springbank company. So they started this massive renovation, rebuilding, carefully bringing the old place back to life. And the really crucial bit, production restarted in 2004. That marked, a completely new era, not just for Glengyle, but really for Campbeltown, too.
Okay, and this is where it gets, really interesting for anyone who pays attention to whiskey names. If the distillery came back as Glengyle, why is the whiskey called Kilkerran? There's got to be a reason for that switch.
There absolutely is. It was a practical problem, actually. The original name, Glengyle, specifically for a whiskey brand, well, it was already registered by someone else.
Ah, okay, so they couldn't use it.
Exactly. Even though they owned the distillery building, the brand name for the whiskey was taken.
Right, so they had to get creative. And the solution they found is, well, it's pretty brilliant, actually. They named the whiskey Kilkerran, which, and this is the cool part, is a direct reference to Sean Lochsil Kieran, which is the ancient Gaelic name for Campbeltown itself.
Not on.
So it wasn't just like picking another name out of a hat. It was a deliberate choice, really rooting the whiskey right back into its local history, its geography, the soul of the place.
Yeah, totally reinforces that Campbeltown connection. And that commitment to the place, to the community, it went even further. After Hedley Wright passed away in 2023, he arranged something quite remarkable. He transferred his shares, his ownership, to 3 local foundations.
Really?
Yeah, so the idea is to ensure the distillery keeps focusing on quality, on tradition, and, on what's best for the local community. Not just driven by, external commercial pressures. It's an incredible legacy move. Really cements that dedication to Campbeltown.
That really is something special.
Wow.
Okay, so let's talk about Campbeltown itself for a second. This place It was once huge, right? The whiskey capital of the world, dozens of distilleries.
Absolutely. Packed with them.
But as we said, it hit hard times, and it actually faced the real risk of losing its official status, like its official designation as a distinct Scotch whiskey region. Can you imagine?
It sounds crazy now, but yeah, it was a genuine threat. And this, I think, is the real aha moment about Glengyle's importance. Its revival, getting Glengyle up and running again, producing Kilkerran. It was absolutely crucial.
Crucial how?
Well, to be an official region, you generally need at least 3 working distilleries. Campbeltown was down to just 2, Springbank and Glen Scotia.
Ah, right.
So Kilkerran became that vital third pillar. Without Glengyle reopening, Campbeltown probably would have lost its regional status. It would likely have just been absorbed into the Highlands region or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, this trio, Springbank, Glen Scotia, and Kilkerran, they literally saved Campbeltown's status as one of Scotland's official whiskey-producing regions. A massive deal.
So Kilkerran isn't just, a nice whiskey from a revived distillery. It's actually a savior of regional identity.
In a very real sense, yes.
Its success, its style, it's all tied up with the whole rebound, the reflourishing of whiskey in Campbeltown. The whole region story hinges on Glengyle coming back.
It really does. And what's so neat is how Kilkerran whiskey itself just perfectly embodies that traditional Campbeltown style. It's known for this unique complexity. It's got layers. And often these distinct mineral notes, you really get a sense of the coast.
That salty tang.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And while it's not, super heavily peated like some Islay whiskeys, there's definitely a smokiness there. Subtle, but present. It's part of its DNA.
And they really go all in on achieving that style, don't they? No shortcuts. They stick to traditional methods, including floor malting.
Exactly. That really hands-on process where they spread the barley on the floor to germinate.
Which is pretty rare these days. Labor-intensive.
Very. But many believe it adds a specific character you can't quite replicate otherwise. And then when they bottle it, you see that same commitment. No chill filtration, so they're not stripping out oils and fats that contribute to mouthfeel and flavor just to prevent haze.
Right. Keeps it fuller.
Yeah. And natural color. What you see is what came out of the cask. No caramel coloring added. It's about authenticity.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And the casks themselves, what's the approach there?
Maturation. Crucial, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
They use a mix, mainly bourbon and sherry casks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the balance, the combination that gives Kilkerran that depth and complexity we mentioned.
So not just one type dominating.
Generally aiming for integration, yeah. Letting both cask types contribute without one overwhelming the other, usually. And it's worth remembering, Glengyle is still a pretty small distillery, relatively low production volume, which, again, it just underlines that focus, quality over quantity, craftsmanship.
Right. So we've got the backstory, the philosophy, the regional importance. Let's connect that to what you actually find in the bottle. What does it taste like? You mentioned we've got some specific examples to look at.
We do. Let's start with, say, the Kilkerran 16-year-old. This is the 2025 edition. It's become a really sought-after annual release since it first appeared in 2020.
Okay.
People look out for it each year because the cask recipe changes slightly, so each vintage is a bit different, which is cool for collectors.
But still recognizably Kilker.
Oh, yeah. Definitely retains that core character.
Yeah.
The specific one, the 2025, is aged in 60% bourbon casks and 40% sherry casks. So on the nose, it's quite soft, elegant. Think plums, marzipan, maybe a hint of orange chocolate.
Sounds nice.
Then the palate, it gets more lively, complex. You get notes of cherry liqueur, maybe some licorice, dates, star anise. And underneath it all is that gentle peat smoke like we talked about and a bit of warmth, like cinnamon toast.
Okay.
A finish. It lingers. You
Yeah.
get that mineral saltiness, some roasted hazelnuts, maybe even fresh mints and tart cherries. It's got freshness and depth. And standard Kilkerran practice. Unchill filtered, natural color, bottled at 46% ABV.
Okay, that sounds like a really well-rounded, layered dram. Elegant, as you said. But what if someone's looking for something, I don't know, a bit punchier, more intense? You mentioned a limited release 8-year-old sherry cask. That sounds like it might fit the bill.
It absolutely does. This one is described as powerful and characterful, and yeah, these limited cask strength releases tend to be highly collectible.
So what makes it so intense? Just the sherry casks?
That's a huge part of it, yes. It's matured exclusively in Oloroso sherry casks for the full 8 years. And crucially, it's bottled at natural cask strength. meaning straight from the barrel, no water added to bring the alcohol down. So it's potent, usually around 57.5% ABV for this one.
Wow. Okay. Big difference from 46%.
Huge. And you taste it. The nose is rich, really rich. You get things like honey glazed ham, roasted nuts, cinnamon spiced plums, lots of dark fruits from the sherry, blackberry fig, dark chocolate, toffee, leather. But then, peeking through, that definite Campbeltown signature, that slight coastal thing.
Okay. Complex nose and the taste.
Full on, intense, big flavors, chocolate, dried fruits like raisins and cherries, then spice kicks in, red chili flakes, ginger, plus that sea saltiness again, nutmeg, licorice, maybe even a hint of popcorn from the grain itself.
Sounds like a flavor explosion.
It is, and the finish is long, spicy, warm, nutmeg, cinnamon, black tea, dried fruit. It really hangs around. It manages this great balance, though. Despite the strength, it balances the power, the sweetness from the sherry, and that complex Campbeltown character.
Okay, definitely one for the sherry bomb lover, sounds like. Now, for something really special, you also mentioned a 15-year-old single cask, a 20th anniversary edition.
Yes, that's right. Released to mark 20 years since the distillery reopened in 2004. So a real milestone bottling.
Single cask means it's from just one individual barrel, right? Undiluted.
Exactly. Aged for 15 years in that one specific cask, then bottled at its natural strength, 56.6 per ABV for this one. These single casks offer a really unique snapshot. Very intense, very specific to that one barrel's life.
So what's the profile like on this anniversary edition?
It's described as rich and complex, naturally. You get layers of that distinctive peat smoke, but also spicy notes, maybe a bit of citrus lifting things. Because it's cask strength, you can really dig into the nuances. Things like biscuits, caramel, a sort of lightly smoked oak character, intertwined with some subtle fruitiness underneath. It's the full, untampered flavor, exactly as it was in the wood. Very special.
Definitely sounds like a collector's piece or one for a special occasion. And just to round things out, let's quickly touch on the Kilkerran 12-year-old. This is more the core range staple, right? Described as super delicious, a good benchmark.
Absolutely. The 12-year-old is a fantastic introduction to the Kilkerran house style. It's consistently good. It's matured in that balanced mix, again, bourbon and sherry casks.
Okay.
So you get those lovely rich notes of vanilla, dried fruit, caramel. But alongside that, crucially, you get that characteristic hint of salty smoke that just screams Campbeltown.
Signature again?
And that signature. It's bottled at 46% ABV, also unchill filtered, natural color. It really delivers on everything Kilkerran stands for, but in a very approachable, delicious way. A great starting point. You know, if we try and tie all this together, connect it back to that bigger picture, Kilkerran, it's really not just another whiskey on the shelf, is it? It's like living proof of resilience, of tradition, of the whole spirit of a unique place.
Yeah.
Its importance for keeping Campbeltown on the map as a distinct region just can't be overstated. And the whiskey itself, that distinct, carefully made style, it's a real beacon for quality.
It's an incredible story, really, when you think about all that history, the dedication. It adds so much depth to what's in the glass. So next time you maybe see a bottle of Kilkerran, whether it's the 12-year-old or one of those sought-after annual releases or a rare single cask, just maybe take a second to think about that journey, you know, from being almost wiped out to gaining global recognition and all the meticulous work that goes into every single bottle. It's quite something.
It really is. And maybe this leaves you with a question to think about. In a world that's so often pushing for, efficiency, scale, mass production, what's the real enduring value we find in traditions, in these regional identities that don't just survive, that actually defiantly thrive against the odds, like Glengyle has? What is that resilience, that commitment to a specific way of doing things tell us about quality, maybe about community, or even just the human spirit?
That's a great thought to mull over. We certainly hope this deep dive into Kilkerran Glengyle has given you a richer appreciation for this really remarkable dram and the whole vibrant spirit of Campbeltown. Thanks so much for joining us today.